Hey guys, this is Tyler Franzen with Duramax Tuner, and this is a behind-the-scenes look of our weekend puller. It's a $15,000 budget build.
What's up guys, Tyler Franzen again here with Duramax Tuner. Just a recap on last week's pull in Grays Lake. We left off not knowing what exactly really broke. Upon further inspection after getting it into the shop, we ended up getting it on the lift and finding out that it was just a CV shaft. So yeah, it stinks that that broke, but it's only a $60, $65 part that we had to replace. The reason I don't think I could have seen it or figured it out at the time was because where it sheared was coming right out of the splines of the hub. That spot right there, you got your furthest joint of the CV shaft, and it kind of sits within the hub there. It sheared off right after the spline. So it's not like when it broke, it was bouncing around, tossing grease everywhere, ripping boots. It literally sheared and just stayed right in its place. So looking at it laying underneath the truck, I couldn't see that, that I had a broken CV shaft. Everything was, in there lined up right where it should be. So going into Oregon, that pull was probably an hour and a half away from the shop. Got the truck loaded up, headed out there, and showed up there, let's say around 5 o'clock, because I had to be signed in by 6. Huge turnout, very tight fairgrounds, a lot of guys in there, a lot of trucks and trailers in there, so took a little bit of time to get parked in there just because there were so many people. Within the stock class, there was, I want to say, six trucks that were within the stock class. Coming up to, about 10 o'clock at night, they're finally running the stock classes. I'm getting myself amped up for this now, and I pulled, I want to say the number 4 card or number 5 card, and that ended up putting me second to last in the class because a couple other guys came into the pull later as well, so they got themselves signed up. But yeah, there was like 6, 7 guys in the class, got lined up, got all my GoPros set up, and had the truck in 4 low, had tow haul on, had my data logger ready for it. And as guys were pulling, all of them were kind of staying right. They were all putting down some pretty good passes. I mean, there was a 7.3 dually that was right around the 300-foot mark. So, watching that, in my mind, I'm like, this thing's been pulling so well, 300-foot shouldn't be a problem, especially if a 7.3 can do it. So now comes the time where I'm rolling up to the sled. So got myself hooked up to the sled, got the chain tight, decided I was going to head right down the middle. Everybody else was going to the right. The track on the right was doing well, especially for the 7.3s. I figured that dirt was a little bit loose, so I thought I'd hug it to the left a little bit more, like towards the middle, and get a little more solid ground, the stuff that hasn't been churned up, the stuff that hasn't been worked by the tractors and the rollers that are going through the track. Got the truck rolling, the truck's starting in 3rd. I have my tow haul on, I'm in 4 low, I got my data log going, and truck pulls out of the sled very, very nicely. And I launched out of it very, very hard too. Boosted it up to about 23 pounds of boost, let off the brake, full launch. Front end did come in a little bit, but it wasn't terrible. Got to cruising. As soon as I passed the 100-foot mark, I bumped it up to 4th. The truck was hauling. I got a really good speed right down the middle, and once I got towards the end, right where I thought I was at that 300-foot mark, I cut it to the right, and that kind of gained me a couple more feet. I ended up pulling a 314.
Green on the track, green on the flag.
But it was an awesome pass. It was a really good solid pass. The truck didn't hop, didn't bounce, it didn't yank really hard. I didn't have any drive shafts breaking. I didn't have a CV brake. The truck did not fall on its face within the boost. Like, the boost stayed up. The turbo, the 67 was screaming, and it was an awesome, a really good solid pass. So next we're going on to McHenry County, and that is my hometown pull, so I'm very excited. Going to have a lot of friends, a lot of family there, and we're in for a really big treat. I'm Tyler Franzen with Duramax Tuner. Thanks for watching, guys.
Trouble with Tyler's truck, he's going to need a little bit of help with.